Family, we are back. I wanted to tap into this situation real quick. It just never sat right with me from the jump. And if you guys notice, there hasn't been any, I'm not going to say any, but there hasn't been too much chatter about the janitor at the facility or any other personnel that might have had a finger or a hand in this situation. A lot of people are saying that it's a cover up, and I can see that, you guys. I really can. Blame it on the guy on the low at the lowest of the blame it on the guy at the lowest on the totem pole. He's expendable, especially when you want to cover up something greater. But if you looked at that hole, all of them dudes weren't fitting out of that hole, not one of them. It didn't make sense. Anyway, let's get to this content. We're tapping in with Urban Politicians TV. The reason I chose his video to tap into is because I like I like his takes on almost everything, for real. He's a rational thinker and he keeps it real, short, sweet, and to the point. Let's get it.
News, Antione Massey, one of the escaped inmates, caught in the Holly Grove area just moments ago.
That's right. WDSU reporter Jonah Gilmore live right now on Strolitz in Holly Grove. Jonah, what can you tell us about the capture?
Well, Gina, Travis, I can tell you that several people who live in the neighborhood actually witnessed that scene. They said that it started like around 1 o'clock. They heard a big commotion outside, and when they came outside, they saw several unmarked vehicles with tinted windows. They saw several law enforcement agents with guns on. Some people said big guns and shields drawn. But we do know that the capture happened here in the 9400 block of Astralis here in Holly Grove. When we got here on scene, WDSU was the first news outlet here on scene. We saw several vehicles that were in this parking lot area right here, driveway, if you will. We saw about maybe 7 or 8 unmarked vehicles. We saw several law enforcement agents going in and out of the house. I can tell you there was also a K-9 unit here on scene. And we did manage to speak with some neighbors off camera in the neighborhood, telling us about what they actually saw. One lady actually witnessing, providing us with some video that we're going to show a little later. A homeowner, who told me that it was so shocking that she got a phone call and she rushed over here. She said that her son was actually on the property a little earlier. So it's really hard to kind of put together that someone was actually on her property. But take a look at this video. We were able to obtain that video from a nearby homeowner. Shows what that scene looked like maybe an hour or so ago, as several law enforcement agents were here on scene with big guns, heavy police presence, K-9 unit, walking onto that property, trying to get Massey out of that house. And, 6 weeks to the date, this has been, all hands-on approach and effort from several law enforcement agencies to get the remaining 2 escapees back into custody. Just to give you a little perspective here, the property where he was captured is actually 2 homes on the property, so we're not clear on which property Massey was in. She do tell me that.
Frustrated too. I don't know what's happening. They say this is going on, and I get here and I don't even see a cop. So, it's a pretty quiet neighborhood. It's kind of shocking. But hey,
I really hope that this was a thing like, hey y'all, I'ma be on the land. I need somebody to look out for me, and we're gonna wait until they raise the price for till they raise the amount for the capture for whoever turned them in. I'm really hoping that it was that type of scenario, but they say he was caught in the Airbnb, and a lot of those Airbnb owners tend to have cameras on property, allegedly. Anyway, let's continue.
things like this happen.
Today, which I understood led to the arrest of Mr. Massey. So we'll be working with our partners, the U.S. Marshals, and on the Crime Stoppers portion. And if that is the qualifying tip, again, our tips are anonymous, so we don't know who they might have spoke to or where they came from. It is an anonymous tip, and we don't ask those questions. As far as the FBI's reward process, we will certainly point them to that direction so that they can then work through that process for the additional $20,000. And it's the number, you know it. It's 822-1111, or go online to crimestoppersgno.org. I've been calling. We're getting tips daily on the 2 inmates.
Dollars is life-changing for a lot of people. It'd be life-changing for me.
So let's,
Can you speak a little bit more to those Instagram posts that Massey allegedly made? Was that him making the post? Was that someone else? Will those lead to any arrests?
go ahead and speak to it. It's still under investigation.
Yeah, we have a lot of posts, a lot of social media, as y'all know, and some things are dated. Everything that we see online, our Fusion Center, our law enforcement partners, it's vetted, it's collaborated. But keep in mind, by the time you see it, someone else has already seen it. You don't know the exact time and date. You don't, but we do. And so just like when they move from home to home or neighborhood to neighborhood throughout the city or throughout the state, they're constantly moving. So it's actionable intelligence, and it's only good for a short amount of time. So to answer your question, we confirm all of the social media posts, regardless of the platform. We utilize that as an investigative lead, and then if we can move further that, we do. And
I bet they're having a field day, you guys. I bet they're having a field day. And they're going to treat it as if they were just exhausting all resources, working so diligently, when really it was off the backs of the people. It just looked like a lot of officers was trying to get photo ops and things like that. Why isn't anyone talking about what's going on with this situation and how allegedly somebody had some relatives that were deleted and they got retribution in their own way? Anyway, let's listen to Big Ant from the Urban Politician. Let's get his take, and I'm gonna shut up. Let's go.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and we back outside with it. H-Town, Texas streets once again. Been ripping and running today. Got to make a few stops, but I had to make sure I pulled over in the cut right quick with the latest update when it comes to Antione Massey, as it's breaking news in the last hour or so that he was captured in the Holly Grove section of New Orleans. They say he was in a home by himself, and as more details come out, they are updating in real time. An inmate who has been on the run for over a month has been captured in New Orleans. Antione Massey was captured Friday afternoon in the Holly Grove neighborhood. According to New Orleans Police Department Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick, Sheriff Susan Hudson received an anonymous tip that led to Massey's arrest. Kirkpatrick and Hudson did not provide any additional information regarding who or where they tip came from. Hudson said she received the tip around 11 a.m. and said Massey was captured around 3:30 p.m. Once Massey is rebooked at the Orleans Parish Jail, he will be taken to Angola, where the other 8 inmates are being held. And I had a link in the description where you can watch that in full at on WDSU and also Fox 8 out of New Orleans, as $70,000 was the total tip award, and they letting it be known that this was done by a collective effort. They probably wouldn't have caught him if the person wouldn't let him be known that where he was at with Crime Stoppers. Now, he might have been caught eventually. He is ninth in it. They still have Derrick Groves they are going after right now. They've been talking about that as well. But this one right here came directly from a tip that was sent to Crime Stoppers. $20,000 from the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and supposedly they got to work theirs out, but $50,000 from New Orleans, so $70,000 they gonna receive today. I don't know how they pay those out.
70,000. I thought it was 20 at first, and I guess another 50. I never knew it was. Wow. I'm really hoping that it was some family that got to turn them in, and they could make use of the money for legal representation. Bro said he was wrongfully accused. He was begging celebrities and this and that for donations or just help, period. He had a good run, I can say that, but it's really time to focus on how everything went. We cannot let this thing get thrown on the janitor who only has a certain amount of clearance. It's like, you're not going to tell me somebody dug through that wall and these people just imploded their bodies to squeeze through, or not imploded, but you know what I'm. Let me just shut up. Let's get to the rest of the commentary.
But that's what got the job done right here, man. And with them going to social media, you heard the police chief break that down too. Hey, man, we be on top of it. We be seeing when it get posted. We be looking and searching. Been over, 6 weeks now? This is going to be a real live movie, like I said before. We also seen, I think, 13, I don't want to be incorrect in that number, either 13 to 15 other people arrested besides 9 arrested who actually escaped that day. But 13 to 15 other people that they arrested saying that they assisted, they helped, plot and plan, or assisted them in after the fact with this situation. Who knows what's going on? We seen them offer everything to free public defenders to turn yourselves in. We seen family members pleading. We just covered them going to another house that they raided where they thought Antione Massey was at last week or earlier this week or last week. Also, they had been going to Derrick Grove's family house. The story with his grandmother and stuff with New Orleans Police Department. It's just a lot going on with this storyline. Yeah, they're going to probably do some movies about this. It's going to be a lot of information that come out. It's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of details. Expect to see Netflix documentaries. Of course, somebody going to do a lot of people going to do YouTube documentaries. Might see a TV show based on this. We just seen, the Shawshank Redemptions. We just seen the other one, the other jail show, Prison Break, that they did. I remember that one. It's just all type of stuff going on with this right here. Even U.S. Marshals with Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, they done put their own version of this basically at this point, man. Tell me what y'all think. Antione Massey caught today. More videos coming. All at 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.
Big Ant made some great points. I could see some movies. I could see 50 Cent getting a hold of this. I really could. I hope it's a director that'll do us some justice. And I don't know. I just hope it was some family that got the benefit from the situation. I'm not going to say too much because, but let me know your thoughts, y'all. I'm out. Peace.